He's passed his driving test since Brands Hatch, by the way, as Ben smiles.
Good on him.
But his dad says it won't help him do any better on the racetrack.
Don't know. The first test I did, they asked me, what foot do you use to brake? And I immediately went left. It was an instinct.
Anyway, we were nearly ready to go racing, which is probably just as well for you, Chris. Lights go out, red lights are off, race is underway, and it's a big old field of cars heading down towards Copse Corner for the first time. 15-minute race this for the Massimo Tyres 5 Club MX5 Cup. It's Simon Walker-Hansel that has the lead of the race. Ben Short, it looks like, is up to second place, and Oak Richardson in third. So Ben Smiles has... Well, that's been wiped off his face, hasn't it? He's dropped back a little bit. I think he's in fourth position at the moment, possibly, or maybe even further back. We'll pick up on all of that in a minute.
Yeah, it looks like he's in about fourth, just coming through the shortcut there. Very wild line for the James McCann car, the 113 black and orange machine, just picking up a little bit of grass as they made their way onto the straight as well. But look at it, Richardson, after being attacked for second position, now going for the lead on the outside at Brooklands. I think that was just tyre smoke, not necessarily bodywork rubbing up against each other as they made their way through the left-hander. But once again, we've got great close action up at the front of the field.
Yeah, great stuff, and I'm sure we're going to be in for a lot of action in this 5 Club MX5 Cup race. The 29 car you can see there is Mary Barnard from Middlesbrough in the Barnard Racing car.
Side by side for the lead over the timing line, just 87 thousandths between Simon Walker-Hansel and Oak Richardson. When they hit the beam, it's Oak Richardson, the blue car, on the outside line, gets out-braked into the corner by the pole sitter Walker-Hansel, Ben Short and Ben Smiles, and Michael Pearce going with them in that green car at the back of this queue. So about 5 for the lead.
Yeah, and it's Oak Richardson with the blue car in the lead, but it was almost side-to-side contact between him and Simon Walker-Hansel there. If they're not careful, this is going to allow Ben Short to pounce on both of them along the Wellington Straight. You've got Smiles and Michael Pearce there in the sort of bright green car in 5th position. Scott Leach, you can see jinking out in the blue car with the yellow roll cage a bit further back. Still side-by-side between these two. Richardson's got the inside line, Simon Walker-Hansel on the outside line, and it is still... Oak Richardson that manages to hold on. Ben Short there in third place, playing a watching brief here. Pearce now ahead of Smiles for fourth. I think it's Jordan Johnson now in the 92 car that's moved up to 6th place.
Double race winner at the opening meeting at Brands Hatch was Oak Richardson, trying to make it a third one of the season, but still a long way to go in this one. He's hounded in the mirror by Simon Walker-Hansel, who pulls out to the inside for Copse Corner. So it wasn't quite as close when they came around last time. But we'll see when they get out of Copse Corner who's been able to come out ahead, or if Ben Short, the number 78 machine, Charlie Brisker, has gone off the road, sadly. That's Ben Short now in second place, and Ben Short going for the lead on the inside line, going into the cut through, and a wave there for the yellow flags of what I can only assume is Charlie Brisker's stricken car.
Yeah, so Ben Short probably, just took him behind.
Oh,
it's actually gone off into the barriers.
Big hit.
Yeah, it's gone off onto the barriers on the straight, so that's unusual. There must have been a bit of a contact there, you would think, to send that car in the direction of the barriers, but for the moment, let's stick with the leaders. Then it is still Simon Walker-Hansel leading, Ben Short in second, third is the 17 car of Oak Richardson, Michael Pearce is fourth, then it's the car of Ben Smiles in 5th place and Jordan Johnson in 6th. But yes, a sort of hefty clunk into the barriers there for Charlie Brisker, unfortunately. So that's sad to see for the driver from Bristol.
And he does a handful of outings these days, does Charlie, so that might curtail things for later in the season. Side by side for the lead. Once again, Ben Short leads out of Copse Corner, but very closely followed by Simon Walker-Hansel and Oak Richardson. You cannot give Ben Short an inch in this championship because he's just the absolute benchmark. And we'll see if anyone can mount the challenge back on him again. But it's astonishing. 2.4 seconds between the top 9 cars when they went over the timing line back into the yellow flag zone. And is that some drivers trying to be a bit more wary when they go back to the green flag zone, which is into this corner, and there was just about a Rizzler's width between Ben Short and Simon Walker-Hansel on the way into Brooklands, just about managing to avoid contact.
So we've got Ben Short, we've got Ben Smart, we've got Ben Hansen, now we've got Ben Schmark as well in this race. So Simon Walker-Hansel, it was in the lead at the end of the previous lap. It's now Ben Short. He crosses the timing line 0.147 seconds ahead of Walker-Hansel. This time Richardson is third. Michael Pearce is fourth. He's still got the best lap of the race to his credit. Scott Leach, you can see in the background, he was trying to make up some ground. He was in 9th position over the timing line, attacking Ian Tomlinson. Don't think he's made that work just yet, but it's side by side for second place here. Oak Richardson, Preston Bissett man, is trying to forge away past Simon Walker-Hansel, the man from the northeast, and it's not as yet worked for him. I think these two probably need to work together if they're going to try and overhaul Ben Short. What they can't afford to do is race each other, because what Ben will do is just ease away ever so slightly from them if he does that, I think.
He has that relentless pace, doesn't he? But Richardson on the inside here, he clearly feels like I'm going to be the one to challenge Ben Short for the lead in this one, and does go through. So Oak Richardson, the championship leader, up into second place now, and trying to stick on the coattails of the multiple series champion Ben Short up the front of the field. And this that queue of cars that was only 5 at the start of the race has now become, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 charitably. 2 seconds between them.
Yeah, I'll let you have the 9th, I think, which was Ian Tomlinson in the back end of that group. There's definite daylight. There's about a second between himself and Matt Hallam in 10th. Ben Smart sadly going backwards, isn't he? And it was sort of a similar story at Brands Hatch, where he had the pace over a single lap, but still just learning his racecraft, really, the youngster, who's only in his second season of racing to junior saloons previously.
Yellow flags have been rescinded down the straight, and look at the effect that's had. They're fanning out across the circuit as they're squabbling for pace, and Ben Short weaving across the road as well, trying to break the Toto Richardson, but it's 3 wide further back, and Jordan Johnson is the one on the outside, and Tom Holland the one on the inside in the red car that manages to just about come out on top. And Jordan Johnson takes a little bit of the runoff area coming up against Michael Pearce in the green car as well. That allows Scott Leach to have a little look on the outside there as well. And somehow everybody manages to make it through unscathed.
Pretty much halfway through this race then, about to complete lap number 6, so it's going to perhaps be a 13-lap race. They might just squeeze 13 laps out of this in the 15 minutes that are available to them. Ben Short leading still by 0.2 of a second from Simon Walker-Hansel. Oak Richardson, Thomas Holland, Jordan Johnson and Ben Smiles now back up to 6th.
And is that Walker-Hansel going back on the inside for the lead of the race into Copse Corner. So Ben Short has been usurped. So he's managed to do Oak Richardson and Ben Short there quite quickly. And in fact, Tom Holland's gone through as well. So Ben Short, in a very short space of time, has gone from 1st to 4th. Now, is there some sort of problem on that number 71 machine? Because I don't think I've ever seen that in my life.
No, it's unusual, but there's still 6 or 7 minutes to go in this race for Ben Short to try and come back. And of course, in a race like this, when the toe is all important and strategies at play, it's not necessarily a terrible thing to say, or a terrible place to be, I should say.
But he's just trying to make it interesting for us, isn't it?
Absolutely, ever the showman.
Holland was pushing Oak Richardson in the braking zone at Brooklands. I'm sure there'll be some scuff marks on the front of his number 74 red machine. That's it when they come across the timing line. Just over 6 minutes to go, side by side for the lead once again. This time it's Richardson on the inside of Simon Walker-Hansel. Tom Holland trying to follow the championship leader through on the inside as well. So Richardson leads, and can Holland go through? Yes, he does. So now we've just seen Simon Walker-Hansel do the exact same thing. There's no way that's on Pat. He's got to be letting these guys through and thinking more tactically.
Well, actually, really?
No.
Really?
Okay, let me rescind my previous comment. It was a little bit too much of a coincidence that I don't subscribe to normally. That was quite an extreme. But yeah, but he's back up to pace again. I'm not sure what these guys are playing now. There's all sorts of games going on out there at the moment. Maybe he just missed a gear or something coming out of the corner. But look at those 3 cars Absolutely brilliant stuff going into Brooklands. It's Richardson, Holland and Ben Short, the top three as it stands.
Of course, Tom Holland is Ben Short's customer, isn't he? You can see the similar livery on those cars, the sort of inverse livery. So
get out the way. No, that BS Motorsport really do put the customers first.
Do you think Ben reduces the bill if he beats his customers? I'm not quite sure how that works. Anyway, for the moment, you won't have to find out because Thomas Holland is ahead as they come through to complete lap number 8. It is Richardson leading, but it might not be by the time he gets to Copse Corner because Holland was trying to pull alongside, I think. Has he managed to do that? Has he got through? Yes, he has. And he's taken Ben Short with him, has he? No, not quite. Richardson duking it out around the outside line. I thought he was going to drag his team boss along there, was Thomas Holland. He might still do that. Yes, he does do that. And now it's Richardson that's nearly going from first to fourth. Yes, he is from first to fourth because through has gone Scott Leach as well. He's sort of gradually accumulated positions as this race has gone on. What price does Scott Leach win here?
Yeah, no, he's really just sort of quietly climbed up the order and from his livery as well, licking the stamp and sending it, as he's now looking on the back of Ben Short as well. It's absolutely incredible stuff. Less than 2 seconds still between the top 8. That was Short getting it very sideways in the middle of Brooklands, and so Tom Holland fancies the run around the outside line. Nothing doing there. It's the BS Motorsport 1-2 as it stands. 4 minutes to go as they come out of Luffield once again, and now it's Scott Leach with the run out of the corner up towards Woodcote and towards the timing line.
Over the line they go once again. The top 6 separated by a second, and Simon Walker-Hansel is still in 6th position. So I'm not sure we can sort of take into account any conspiracy theories here because he's certainly not fought back from 6th place yet. I suppose there are probably 3, if not 4 more laps to go in this race. Probably 4, I think, because I was saying it's likely to be 13. He's very much still in the lead group. There's 8 of them now, I think, in that lead group. The last bit of them is Michael Pearce, I think, now in the green car at the back of, well, he's not at the back of the group anymore.
There was a hand signal there from Tom Holland because Scott Leach was getting into the back of him. That's Adam Wardley off the road at what looks to be Luffield. That could complicate things if there's a yellow flag there, but there was Holland was sending a clear signal. Oi, Short's getting away. We need to get after him.
Yeah, that's the 592 car of Wardley, the driver from Guysborough, that's out of the race, it would seem. Wasn't inside the top 30 on our timing screens anyway.
He's still there.
He is still there. It's not a particularly worrisome position, I don't think, but maybe the officials in race control might have a different view of that. So they come through to complete lap number 10 now, and the random leader generator has Ben Short at the front of it this time from Thomas Holland. So it is still a 1-2 for BS Motorsport. Then Scott Leach in 3rd, Eric Richardson 4th, Jordan Johnson 5th, Simon Walker-Hansel in 6th, then Smiles and Pearce. And then Matt Hallam, who has latched himself back onto that leading octet, so it is 9 cars for the lead again. It actually might even be very nearly 10 because Matt Pennefather-Neal is not too far away now.
Richardson up into 3rd. He managed to get Scott Leach going into Copse Corner. Now Simon Walker-Hansel recovering at least one of those positions. Jordan Johnson going through there as well. So didn't quite manage to get through on Scott Leach. But starting to show his nose again. But Richardson up into 3rd position. There are yellow flags out in what is probably the best overtaking opportunity on the racetrack. So all of this part of the track still covered under yellows, and with only a minute and 45 to go, this could play a crucial part in this race now.
Yeah, no, it might be. We've got a snatch vehicle there, so that's why it'll be there until it's called out of the way, but they probably won't get that out of the way much before the end of the race. We might just see the yellows go in on the final lap, I guess, which could be interesting, but the leaders will all be cognizant of that and they'll be planning their strategies accordingly. Over the line they've gone. Still the BS 1-2 as it has been for, I think, 3 successive laps now, remarkably. Is that going to change before much longer? Well, no, because although you've got Oak Richardson there in 3rd place, he's not yet able to do anything about the leaders. Possibly he's in keeping power to drive for late attack mode at the moment. And now he's getting alongside Thomas Holland. He's on the outside line, though, for Beckett. Scott Leach is arriving at Beckett's relatively quickly, trying to take Jordan Johnson and Simon Walker-Hansel with him as well.
That was Richardson pulled a cracker. If he's going to be ahead by the time they get to the yellow flag zone, this could be disputing. He went all the way around the outside, Maggots and Beckett's, and yeah, he's going to be ahead. So that was a really, really opportunistic and tactical move there from Oak Richardson to get up into second position, and ahead of Tom Holland. So he's broken up the 1-2 for BS Motorsport. There's going to be one lap to go, but Ben Short's got quite a sizable advantage. That was Scott Leach dipping a wheel into the gravel on the exit of Luffield from 4th position.
I reckon the yellow flags will be in for the final time at the complex as well, because it looked like that car had been moved out of the way. So that could be important. Although, having said that, Ben Short's now leading by 3/4 of a second from Oak Richardson in second place. Oh, now there's another car that is off. That is on the exit of Copse Corner. Again, I don't think it's in a particularly dangerous position. Leaders, though, heading through that part of the circuit now. Ben Short with a decent gap. Oh, it did have a decent gap.
Yeah, it did have a decent gap, but it's come down to just a couple of car lengths. Well, one straight, 2 corners, and a run to the checkered flag to go then. And the big question is, are there still yellow flags in this part of the racetrack? No, they're clear. So Oak Richardson has got clear track to try and attack into these last couple of corners. This could be absolutely decisive, but I don't think he's close enough to really mount a challenge, to be honest. Tom Holland might just hang on for the last spot on the podium. No contact between him and Scott Leach as when Holland gets spun round. Leach goes off the road as well. Surely that's going to promote Jordan Johnson onto the final spot on the podium.
Yeah, he's sort of shortcutted the corner there, has Scott Leach, so that's exceeding track limits if ever there was one. So who is going to take the checker flag then? Up to the line they come, and it is going to be over the line Ben Short that does it by 0.2 of a second, in spite of Oak Richardson getting the fastest lap on the final lap. Jordan Johnson grabs 3rd, Walker Hansel 4th, Pearce 5th, Smiles 6th, Hallam 7th, Pennefather Neal 8th, Scott Leach 9th, and Tom Holland 10th. Those two that tangled into Brooklands on the final lap. They did continue, but only for the minor places inside the top 10. Yeah, Richardson on the final lap did the best lap of the race, a 1:12.669, which was 0.3 faster than Ben Short had managed in that race. Well outside the lap record, but different tyres being used this year. Yeah, it just wasn't quite enough, was it, to defeat Ben Short, and he's won yet another race or session that we've seen him competing, Chris.
Despite Richardson bringing the gap down by 0.3 of a second on that final lap. I think if Richardson had just got through maybe that slightly bit earlier, he might have had a crack there at Ben Short, but continues to be the king of 5 Club Racing MX5 Cup. But Richardson, he'll be happy with second, I think, as well. Obviously protects his championship lead. And Jordan Johnson with a surprise podium as well. So where did Smiles at? So Smiles in 6th at the end. So, I think, you're right. They're working on that racecraft a little bit. He's clearly got the speed, as Ben Smiles. Yeah,
he did a 1:13.175 as his best lap, which was... Just looking down, there's quite a few in the 1:12s, including people like Zoltan Shabai, who was only 12th.
Yeah, he had the fastest lap of the race for most of that as well, I think, because he was in relatively clean air.
Yeah, maybe so. Anyway, let's have a look at the results. 71 Ben Short it was that took the win, then by 0.2 of a second at the end of 13 laps from number 17, Oak Richardson in second place. 3rd place went the way of number 92, Jordan Johnson. 4th was number 4, Simon Walker Hansel. 5th was number 70, Michael Pearce. 6th was number 46, Ben Smiles. In 7th, number 44, Matt Hallam. 8th, 21, Matthew Pennefather Neal. Scott Leach, number 13, was 9th, and Thomas Holland, number 74, rounded out the top 10. And there's 2 more races for the MX5s, because they're the only formulas to have a triple head this weekend, on first thing tomorrow morning at 10:20, and again tomorrow afternoon at 3:45. So 2 more races, and I think we're all very pleased that they've got 2 more races after the entertainment they put on there.
Especially considering the race tomorrow is reverse grid as well. Indeed. So if you thought that was good, wait until you see when we tip them on the head. Yeah,
well, Ben Short's getting out of his car now, so let's have a word with him in the company of Kieran Mogg.
Well, we're down here with our winner, Ben Short. My God, you had to work for that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hot day. I'm pretty old and chubby now, so I don't really like hot days. But yeah, that was a really good drive from those lads there. Everyone's on a slightly different scale at the moment. The rules have been changed and some people aren't quite sure what they should and shouldn't be doing, so it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow when we go on the magical roundabout. But yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, it looked like you had quite a few battles going up and down as well, especially with Tom Holland as well. Both of you were nip and tuck the entire way along.
Well, I think it was more Oak that did the majority of the hard work, along with a few others. But no, I saw Tom out there. He led for a lap or so, I think, and yeah, it was all right. I think he finished quite low though, didn't he?
Yeah, he ended up in 10th place in the end, yeah.
Right, so he must have had some contact with someone, which I don't think was me anyway. But when there's that many cars around, you don't know. But yeah, it was good old-fashioned Mazda racing. Not too much damage, hopefully, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see you up here again for tomorrow, I think, your next race is, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's unlikely, but let's hope so.
Yeah, cheers, no worries. Right, second place, Oak Richardson. Oak will just jump in here. Again, right up the front, mixing and tucking with just about everyone.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Yeah, no, that was a good race. Yellows ruined it a little bit towards the end, but it's not anyone's fault, really. I think Ben got a little bit lucky those last few laps of the Yellows because there were plenty of places we could have come past, but the Yellows stopped that. It's nice to see now the championship has levelled out everyone on the power, how much closer it is. Like, fair play to Ben, he still won, but that was much closer. And that's the kind of racing we want. It's great.
Yeah, it's not like it was last year. I mean, that train of cars, there must have been, what, 10, 12 cars in that train. So was it quite difficult to try and keep in front of some of those cars? Like, obviously, you've got to look in front, but you've also got to look behind quite a lot of the time.
Yeah, as soon as you get out the front, you've got no slipstream and you've got no chance of pulling away unless cars behind have a coming together. And you're just going to get mugged everywhere and anywhere as soon as you're at the end of a straight. So, yeah, I'm not surprised it was that long of a train. I didn't look behind me. I didn't have time to look behind me. I only saw the cars that were around me. But yeah, that's cool. It's good.
Nice way to end the day as well.
Yeah, for sure. Been better with a win, but is what it is.
Go again tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Cheers. Thank you very much. Right. So third place, Jordan Johnson. Jordan, almost a bit unexpected podium there for you.
To be honest, after Brands and how my season started, I deserved a freebie podium. I'm well happy with that. I'll take them all day. I knew there was going to be a bit of fisticuffs on the last lap, and I know Scott's not afraid to put his nose in there, so it paid off really, didn't it?
Yeah, it did a little bit, obviously, but you got to be in it to win it, and you had to keep your nose clean, and you most certainly did. It was how difficult was it out there to try and traffic management? That's what I meant to say.
It was really hard work actually with the yellows. It just neutralised the race in all the wrong places where you were building runs and stuff. So yeah, it was really hard keeping an eye on that and also trying to keep an eye on 6 cars that were around you. But that's what we come here for. That's proper Mazda racing, and that was epic.
No, it was absolutely amazing. And do you reckon you can possibly take the fight to the leaders tomorrow?
Absolutely, yeah. I sort of sat back in that one. It was really hard work to get past, and I thought I'll just sit here and see if I get a freebie or something that falls in my favour, and it did. So yeah.
Well, look forward to seeing you tomorrow then.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you very much. Right, coming up next then is the Tagiwa Type R Trophy.